Booking of appointments is very critical for most businesses out there. So today I'll show you how to build an advanced AI phone agent that 1. Handles customer support over a phone call, 2. Books your customers into appointments, 3. Handles rescheduling appointments as well as cancelling appointments, all done with zero human intervention. Here's a demo.
Hello, how can I help you today?
Hi, hope you're well. Just wanted to reschedule my appointment.
Sure thing. Can you please tell me your name and email address so I can locate your appointment?
My name is Alex Walker and my email is alex@gmail.com.
Got it, Alex. Can you tell me when your current appointment is scheduled for, or would you like me to check that for you?
Actually, I've forgotten. Could you just check it for me and reschedule it to next week, Thursday at 4 p.m.?
Your appointment has been successfully rescheduled to next week, Thursday at 4 p.m. Anything else I can help you with?
Now that's it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Alex. Have a great day, and we'll see you next Thursday at 4 p.m.
You too.
Here.
Goodbye. And if I go here to my calendar, you can see here the meeting I had has been rescheduled to 4 p.m. and you can see it has the tag of rescheduled. So now you're wondering how you can get into building one yourself. Let me show you. So we're building the voice bot over on a platform called Retell AI, arguably one of the best voice bot building platforms aside from Vapi. So what you'll do is just search retellai.com. If you don't have an account, go ahead and create one. Then I'll provide the templates for the entire of this tutorial. So the actual agent template that you're just going to upload, the make.com template that handles booking appointments, rescheduling appointments, cancelling appointments, as well as checking calendar availability. So I'll have that all provided, link in the description. So what you'll do is you log into your dashboard, something of the sort. Then what you want to do is click on import over here, then click choose a file. Then you'll upload the agent template that you're going to download from the link in the description. So once you have that, you'll have exactly what you're seeing over here. I'll quickly skim through the system prompt because that's not what we're focusing on. What we're focusing on is the appointment booking functionality. Most tutorials out there will teach you on how to book appointments, but they won't touch on rescheduling, cancelling, and the likes. So this is like a comprehensive tutorial because booking of appointments is very critical for most voice agents that you're going to be building. So if you can have a template that handles it all for you, you're going to be easily copy pasting it in all the AI voice agents that you build. So it will check up calendar availability, I repeat, cancel appointments, reschedule appointments, as well as booking appointments. Okay, so this is all you need to know. Okay, so quickly skimming through this, you're an enthusiastic and helpful customer support agent for a lawn care business called Lawn Masters. Your role is to provide relevant responses to customer inquiries and book the customers into lawn care appointments. Okay, so the task is use information in the knowledge base to provide relevant responses to questions asked by the user and book them into appointments. Okay, if they want to reschedule or cancel the appointments, use the same book appointment function to handle that. So I tell it over here to book appointments, it needs to use the book appointment function. So in regard to that, you'll go to functions over here. Then the first one I want to touch on is checking calendar availability, because yes, the customer could directly tell the AI book me into an appointment for tomorrow at 10 a.m. but they could also ask kindly could you check whether you guys are available for tomorrow at 10 a.m. In such a case, it will call the check calendar availability function for that. So I'll just enter into it so that you can see what's happening. So to check calendar availability, the only field that we need is the booking time. So this is when the user wants to book. For example, tomorrow at 2 p.m. or today at 1 p.m. What I normally like doing is clicking on the example one over here, then copying exactly what is given, going to JSONeditorOnline.org to be able to format the actual JSON schema that will be used to extract the necessary information from the call. Okay, but that's all you need to know is when the user says kindly check whether tomorrow at 10 a.m. is available, we need to take that statement tomorrow at 10 a.m. as is without formatting it into a date time format. We need to take the statement as is so that we can use it to check whether that slot is available. So for that, we'll go to make.com for that. So once you arrive at your make.com dashboard, go ahead and click on create a new scenario. Then you'll import the template that I have provided to you. So that's for the checking calendar availability. So once you arrive at something of the sort, you want to click on these three buttons over here. Click on import blueprint. then choose a file, then import the templates that I've provided to you. So you'll arrive at something of the sort. I'll take you through the entire template and what you need to change on your side. So the first one is just a simple webhook that is accepting data from, in our case, Retell AI, which is the AI voice agent. So once it gets some data, you know what, let's send some data in so that we can work with it. So I'll click run once over here. Then I'll go to Retell AI over here. Then I'll go to test LLM and go to manual chat so that I can chat with it. I mean, this is a good thing with nowadays. Testing AI voice agents doesn't have to be resource intensive. We can just chat with the AI. So in this case, it was at test audio. Let's go to test LLM so that you can chat with the AI agent and simulate checking calendar availability. So for that, I'll tell it, kindly check whether tomorrow at 9 a.m. is available. Something of the sort. Then I'll click send. Then let's expect to see some data come in. So you see data comes in. It checks. Then let's go back and see it says tomorrow at 9 a.m. is available for booking. Okay, so we have sent in some data. So let's see how that is working. Let me zoom in a bit. Click on the bubble over here. So we get some arguments that are coming in. The only argument we're getting is the booking time, which is tomorrow at 9 a.m. Okay, we need the exact statement. We don't want the AI to format it and send it in as a date time format. Why is it? Is because it will send in wrong data. So for example, let me just click a new tab here. An example of a date time format is like 2024-06-05. Then the time is, let's say, 9 a.m. So it will send something like this. Then since it's in, it will assume it's UTC, so it will send something of the sort. But here's the deal. The AI doesn't have context on the current time, doesn't have context on the user's time zone. So if it formats the date from the user statement from the front end of the AI agent, then it will have it wrong. So that's why we send the actual statement as is, so that make.com can handle formatting it into the right format. Okay, so we get in the statement. Then the first tool over here just gets that statement and saves it into a variable called time, so that we can use it later on. So then the next module here, it's very, very important. Its work is to now extract the actual date and time in ISO 8601 format, considering the user's time zone and considering what's the current time, so that when the user says, I want to book in for tomorrow at 9 a.m., if the AI knows that today is actually 30th of April, then therefore tomorrow would be 1st of May. So it can be able to do that. So let me just enter the module and quickly explain things out. So first things first, you need to connect to your OpenAI account. It's quite simple. Just click on online help here. When you click add here, all you need is your organization ID and your API key. You get that from your platform.openai.com. Go to settings, then get that in place. Then let's continue here. We're using GPT-4o system, a smart model, because we are dealing with a complex task. You don't want to go with the cheaper models. Then all you need to do is come here and change your time zone. So if you're in, let's say, Australia, you'll come here and say Australia/Melbourne, something of the sort. But in this case, I'm in Nairobi, Kenya. So I'll change this to Africa/Nairobi. That's all you need to do over here. Then we provide in the current date and time and the caller's requested date and time. So for this, we are getting it from the initial module. Then you can quickly see that its task is to take the customer's requested appointment time and accurately convert it to date time format using the current time. For example, if the customer may request an appointment for tomorrow at 2 p.m. or next Wednesday at 4 p.m., using the current date and time, convert the customer's requested appointment to a standard date and time in that specific time zone. So that's all you need to do. Click save, then we move on. Then this next module just takes what the AI has extracted as the date and time, and we save it into a variable called input. Then we want to get the beginning of the day, so that we can be able to check from the beginning of the day, which is at 12 a.m. to at the end of the day, which is 12 a.m. of the next day, what are the available time slots. We need to bring in all the available time slots and exclude the time slots that have already been booked. So for this, we get that, format the date, then we want to get the beginning of the day. That's why you're seeing here time is set to 000000. Then I have my time zone there. So if your time zone is, let's say, Australia, and Australia is 11 hours ahead of UTC, then you'll put here plus 1100, something of the sort. Then now we want to make an API call to Carl.com. In this case, we are working with Carl.com to handle the appointment scheduling, rescheduling, cancelling, etc. So for that, you'll need your Carl.com API key. So you just search Carl.com. If you don't have an account, go ahead and create one. You can create one with your Google account. Then what you want to do is go to your app. You'll click go to app over here. Then you'll arrive at something of the sort. You want to scroll down here, click on settings. Scroll down till you see API keys, click on API keys, then click on add API key, give it a name, doesn't matter, whatever. Set it to never expires, then click on save. You'll get an API key. Click copy on it, then come back here to make.com, then where you see API key, replace it with your API key. Of course, this API key isn't functioning because I've already disabled it, but on your side, replace it with your new API key. Then in the start time, we'll have the beginning of the day, and the end time is the end of the day. So for that, we're taking the beginning of the day and adding 24 hours on it. For that, we're using the add days function, okay? Then you want to have your event type ID over here. This is how Carl.com works, is for a specific event. Let's say, typically, your lawn care appointments typically take 1 hour. So you'll have an event called lawn care appointment, and it has the settings of 1 hour duration. So for that, you'll go back here to your Carl.com. Then you see a bunch of event types over here. So mine, I'm working with the 30-minute meeting over here. So I'll click 30-minute meeting. Then you'll get your event type ID on the URL over here. So you'll select it, Control-C, come back here and paste it within the event type ID. Then in your time zone, replace it accordingly. Click on save. Then we move on. So the next module over here is getting the time slots for that specific day. Here's why, is because when you click on this bubble over here, then I click on data, click on slots, you'll see it's an array, which is a list of specific days. So in this case, we are working with one specific day. So we want to get all the time slots for this specific day. That's why we want to access this first date. Okay, so that's what we're doing over here. Then here we get the time slots over here. Then what we want to do is we want to iterate over those time slots so that we can ensure that they are properly formatted in the correct time zone. So that's why you're seeing in this text aggregator, we're formatting the date into the exact time zone that we're working with, okay? Because Carl.com will bring back the time slots, but they will be in UTC time. So we need to convert it into the user's time zone. So once we get all the available time slots, we want to get the time slots that are not available so that we can compare the two together with what the user had asked for to check whether that specific time slot is available. So that's what we're doing in this next module. So this next module is trying to check for the time slots that are busy, that have been booked in. So for that, all you need to change is your time zone over here. So change that to your relevant time zone. Change your credential ID. For that, just go and search how to get your Carl.com credential ID. It's very simple. Then change your external ID, which is your email address. Then you'll come here, replace your Carl.com API key, and that's all you need to do on this specific page. Then you'll click on save. Then we move on. So next here, we want to iterate through the time slots that we have checked that are busy and save them into a text aggregator. So in this case, we want to be able to fit these time slots into the AI system so that it can compare and see whether that specific time slot is available. So for that, we're having a text aggregator that does that. Then we have this next AI step that works to check whether that specific time slot that the user had suggested is available. So for that, it's going to compare, checking through. Let me just scroll down here. You'll see we provide it with the user's requested time slot. Then we provide it with a list of the time slots that are available. Then also a list of the time slots that are not available. Then it will use its magic power, its brain, to come up with a statement, something like, yes, that specific time slot is available, or that specific time slot is not available. Then whatever it comes up with, we send it back to the AI agent so that it can say it back to the user. That's simple. So now let's go to the booking, cancelling, and rescheduling appointment, which is a bigger part of this tutorial. So I'll just guide you through that. It's quite simple also, but quite comprehensive. So now we arrive at something of the sort. It seems a bit complex and stuff, but it's quite actually not. So let's go back to Retell AI so that we can see how the function is being configured. So you'll come here to the book appointment function, click edit on it, then you'll see what is happening. So that you can see this clearly, I'll just Control A, Control C, open JSON editor online so that you can see that properly. So you'll arrive here, I'll just paste it in there, then click expand so that you can see that clearly. So before booking, cancelling or rescheduling an appointment, we need to extract some certain information from the call. Okay, we will need the user's name, we will need the time they want to book in. So this is when the user wants to book. Then based on whether they want to cancel, reschedule or book a new appointment, we will have the following fields. So cancel time will be in place if they want to cancel. This is the time of the appointment that the user would like to cancel. Reschedule from time, this is the time of the appointment that the user would like to reschedule from. For example, tomorrow at 2 p.m, next Monday at 3 p.m. So it's good practice to be giving it examples. Then a critical field that is required is the booking type, because we're using only one function to handle 3 different functionalities. So we need to ensure we know whether they want to cancel or create a new booking or reschedule. So this is the type of booking they would like to make, either a new booking or reschedule or cancellation. Then we'll also need the user's email address. This is very critical. Then in the required fields, we don't need all of these fields, because if they are creating a new booking, we don't need to have a cancellation time. So for that, we will need the booking time, we will need the name of the user, the booking type, and the user's email address. So that's how the function is formatted. So coming back here to the scenario, when the data comes in, you see here there's a router here. So if the booking type is new booking, it will flow through certain paths here. If the booking type is cancellation, it will flow through specific paths over here. If the booking type is reschedule, it will flow through specific paths over here. So that's how it's formatted, so that you can use the same make.com scenario to handle 3 different functionalities. So I'll just zoom in here so that you can see what's happening. So what I'll do is I'll click run once so that we can send in some data that we can work with henceforth. So for this, let me go back to Retell AI. Then I'll come back here and let me just start a new chart. So I'll click delete on that. Click manual chart. Then just tell it, hi, kindly reschedule my next week's appointment to next week Friday at 10 a.m. My name is Alex Walker. My email is alex@gmail.com. So you can see it sends over the following data. You can see the name Alex Walker. The booking time is next week Friday at 10 a.m. The reschedule from time the user hasn't specified. And here's the deal, we're able to handle the 2 different scenarios. If the user says just reschedule my appointment next week and they haven't specified the exact date and time, we're able to handle that. But also we're able to handle it if they specify the exact date and time. Because the thing is, we're trying to have our AI agent very convenient, able to handle a wide variety of scenarios. Because the reality is, a customer could have booked an appointment last month and they don't remember the actual date and time. So we need the AI to be able to confirm and check which time slot is assigned to that specific user. Then we're able to reschedule it. So you can see the booking type is reschedule and the email is alex@gmail.com. So here's the thing, I think my laptop is a bit tweaking. My make.com scenario actually ran, and you can see here in the tool result is it says the status of the booking is successful. And if I go to my cal.com, you can see here that it was rescheduled to Friday 9th May at 10 a.m. and you can see rescheduled. So that worked properly, but my make.com was a bit hanging. So just to show you that here's how the data comes in. So when I click on this drop down, here's how the data will come into make.com. The name, the booking time, the reschedule from time, the booking type, the email. It's just a JSON variable. So once we get that data, this first tool just gets our current time. So that is saved within the now variable. We want to format it into our exact time zone. Okay, you don't have to do this if you've already set up your time zone properly within your organization settings. Then we move on. So this step does extracting the actual date and time from the booking time, so that we can have it in the proper date time format that we can work with when booking, rescheduling or cancelling appointments. So that's what it's doing over here. So all you need to do is come here and change your time zone accordingly. Then this next tool just saves the variables in accordingly. So it gets the name, saves it into a variable called name, email and etc. The next here we have a router that will follow different paths based on the booking type, whether it's cancellation, rescheduling, or a new booking. So this first path, let me just show you the filter. It will check whether the booking type is new booking. If that's the case, it will follow through that path. So it will come here. If it's a new booking, saves the information in accordingly, the name, email, the date, time that the person wants to book into, and we get this from the first AI step that was extracting the date and time in the actual accurate format. Then we make an API call to cal.com so that we can book the appointment in. So for that, just replace your API key accordingly. Then come down here, replace your time zone and your event type ID. Kind of like what we were doing in the check calendar availability scenario. Then whether it was successful or not, if it was successful, it will flow through this path and say the appointment has been booked. So this is a statement that will be sent back to the AI so that the AI can know whether it was successful or not. If it wasn't successful, it will follow through this path, and this is critical. Let me just show you. It will send this statement: the booking process has failed due to some technical reasons, or the time chosen is not available. Please run the check availability function for this new booking time to get access to available booking times. So this will reprompt the AI to automatically call the check calendar availability tool to check whether that calendar slot was available. Because the user could first ask the AI, kindly check whether tomorrow at 10 a.m. is available. But also the user could just go ahead and ask the AI to book for that appointment without knowing that that time slot was already taken. So for that could be the reason why the appointment wasn't booked. Therefore, the AI should automatically call that specific tool to check whether that time slot is available. So this part is extremely critical, to reprompt the AI to call that function. But if the user wants to cancel, so on this filter you'll see it will check whether the booking type is cancellation and that the cancel time does not exist. So they haven't provided the time that they want to cancel. Okay, so as I mentioned, there are two scenarios. The person could be, could you cancel my next week's appointment, and they don't specify the actual date and time. And the other scenario is they say cancel my appointment for next week Monday at 10 a.m. But you could make the argument that you can simply just go to the Retell AI system prompt here and tell the AI, if the user doesn't specify the exact date and time, then prompt them to provide the actual date and time. But this is not a good user experience, because the reality is the customer could have forgotten the actual date and time when they booked. We want to handle all scenarios. So if that's the case, they've asked to cancel the appointment but they don't know the exact date and time, we'll come here, obtain the name, the email, the existing date and time, which is in the cancel time, which is in this case empty, and the rescheduled date time, which actually this is not meant to be here, so I'll just cancel that, then click on save, then we continue. So the next module makes an API call to cal.com so that it can get back all the upcoming appointments that have been booked in. If I go to my cal.com here, you can see these are the bookings that are in. So it will give back a list of 2 bookings that have been booked in. The next here we have a router to check whether they could be having multiple bookings or a single booking. So notice here our scenario is handling a wide variety of scenarios that could happen. Could be the case that the user wants to cancel an appointment but they have 2 appointments or 3. So we need to be able to handle all that. So the first filter here checks to see if the length of the list that comes in for the bookings is greater than 1. If it's greater than 1 means they have 2, 3 or 4 bookings. So we're able to handle that. So the first path here you can see it checks to check whether that list that comes in for the bookings is just 1. So it means they have only 1 booking. If that's the case, we can just go and cancel that 1 booking. So for that, since it's a list, we need to iterate over it. So that's what the iterator is doing over here. Then we get the ID of that specific booking. Okay, then we go ahead and make an API call to cancel that specific appointment. So we pass in the ID of that specific booking, then ensure you replace your API key accordingly, and that's all you need to do. Then if it was successful, it will say the status of the cancellation is that. Otherwise, it will say the cancelling process has failed due to some technical reasons. But if the user has multiple bookings, we need to be able to handle that. So you can see in this filter, it checks to see that list of bookings, if it's greater than 1, then we can continue and ask the user which booking they want to cancel. So for that, we want to iterate or loop through the list of bookings so that we can get the specific times that those bookings are starting, so that the AI can be like, oh, Mr. User, by the way, you have 2 appointments in for tomorrow at 10 a.m. and another one for tomorrow at 11 a.m. Which one do you want to cancel? So we need that time, 10 a.m., 11 a.m. So for that, that's why we're having this part that takes the time slot, which will be stored in a variable called start. And if I hover on that, you can see start over here represent that specific time, May 7th, 2025 at 3 p.m., which is the time that specific appointment is starting. Then we want to have this module to convert the times into the user's time zone, because these details that come back from cal.com will be in UTC. That is the coordinated universal time zone. But we want it in the user's time zone. So for example, in our case is Africa Nairobi, so I have to change that in place. On your side, you'll just change it, let's say Australia Melbourne, or America Los Angeles, etc. And that's all you need to do. This is the example output that we need to get back from the AI. Then we just send it back to the user, telling them there seems to be multiple upcoming slots that was booked. Please select from which of these following times to cancel. So that's on the cancellation part. Now let's go into the cancellation part. If the user has specified the exact date and time that they want to cancel the appointment. So let's say they say next week Monday at 10 a.m. kindly cancel that appointment for me. So if that's the case, you can see this filter checks to see the booking time is cancellation and the cancellation time has been provided. So this first module of the AI step just takes the cancellation time, something like a statement of, let's say, cancel my appointment for Wednesday at 4 p.m. then converts that into ISO 8601 format, the proper format that you can work with to cancel the appointment. Then this module just obtains the name, email, the cancellation date and time, etc. Then we can move on. Then we make an API call to cal.com to get back the available bookings that have been booked in. So it will give back a list of that. Then we want to iterate through the list of bookings that have been booked into our calendar to check which specific booking matches the specific time slot that the user has requested to be cancelled. So for that, if I click on this filter, we have 3 conditions. The first one is that specific time slot of the booking matches the time slot that the user wants to cancel. The next one is we want to check that the status of the booking is accepted. And finally, that the email that is assigned to that specific booking matches the user's email address, so that we're not cancelling an appointment for a different user. Then this next step just obtains the ID of that specific booking, because now we have the exact booking that needs to be cancelled. We need to get that ID of that booking in order to cancel it. Then we make an API call to cal.com to cancel that appointment. Replace your API key accordingly, and we move on. If it's successful, it will say the status of the cancellation is successful. If it's not, it will go through this path of the cancelling process has failed due to some technical reasons or the time chosen is not available. So that's on the cancellation part. Let's go into the rescheduling part. As I mentioned, 2 scenarios. They might ask to reschedule a time that they are not sure of, or they might ask to reschedule for a time that they know they are sure of. Okay, you can see the first one here. We have a filter in place to check whether the booking type is reschedule, and the reschedule from time, this is the time that has been specified, does not exist. As usual, we'll get the name, email address, and the reschedule date time. This is the time that they would want to reschedule to, not from. Reschedule to. Then we move on. Make an API call to get all the available bookings. On your side, just replace your event type ID and your API key over here. Then we move on. As usual, we check whether they have multiple bookings or just one, so we can handle that. The first filter, it checks to see if they have multiple bookings. We need to ask them, of these multiple bookings, which one do they want to cancel? Why am I saying cancel? Reschedule. So for that, we'll iterate over the list of bookings that come back, and in the filter here you can see, so that we can get the actual time slots. So if they have, let's say, 2 bookings, one at 10 a.m, one at 11 a.m, we need to send back to the AI those 2 times so that it can ask the user, do you want to reschedule the 10 a.m. one or the 11 a.m. one? Then as usual, we want to convert that into the user's time zone. Then we tell them, we tell the AI to tell the user there seems to be multiple upcoming slots that was booked, Please select from which of these following timings to reschedule. Then yeah, let's go to the second part here. This is if they have one appointment to reschedule. In this case, we can just go ahead and reschedule that appointment. So since we get back a list, we need to iterate from that list and get the specific ID of that specific booking. They want to ensure that that specific ID that is extracted is not empty. If that's the case, we know we have the exact booking that needs to be rescheduled. We have the ID of that specific booking. For this, we just make an API call to carl.com to reschedule that appointment. Place your API key accordingly. Then the time that we want to reschedule to, we have that in place. If it's successful, we just say the status of the booking is successful. Otherwise, we tell them that it failed. Then the next one for rescheduling is if they want to reschedule, but they've actually mentioned the date and time that they'd want to reschedule from. Okay, they know that the appointment is for next week Monday at 10 a.m. and they want to switch that appointment to next week Tuesday at 4 p.m. whatever it is. So this path will handle that. So if I click on the filter, you can see this is rescheduled with the user has stated the time. So the booking type is rescheduled and the reschedule from time does exist. So first things first, we have an AI step to extract the exact date and time of the reschedule from time. You can see that there. So on your side, just ensure you replace your time zone in here accordingly. So in any AI step that is handling extracting date and time, ensure you replace your time zone in accordingly. Then here we obtain the name, email, save them in accordingly into a certain variable. Existing date and time, this is the date and time that you want to reschedule from. And finally, the date and time that you want to reschedule to, which you get from the very first AI module. Remember it, the one at the very beginning over here. Let me just zoom out. This one over here. Then we make an API call to get the available bookings. We iterate over those bookings so we can get the booking that matches the specific time slot that the user has suggested. Then we iterate over those list of bookings so that we can get the specific time slot that we need to reschedule from. So that you can see in the filter here, it checks to see that the time of the appointment matches the time of the appointment that the user has stated they want to reschedule from. Because you could be having multiple bookings that are coming back from carl.com, but you want to check the one that has the time slot matching what the user has stated. Then we want to get that specific ID of that specific booking. If we get that specific appointment, we'll go ahead and reschedule it. Otherwise, we'll just tell the AI to tell the user, sorry, we couldn't find the time you are looking to reschedule. So in this case, if we get the actual appointment that we need to reschedule from, we'll go ahead and reschedule it. Make an API call to carl.com. Replace your API keys in accordingly. Then that's all you need to do there. If it was successful, we'll go down this path telling them the status of the booking was successful. Otherwise, we'll just tell the AI to tell the user the cancelling process has failed due to some technical reasons or the time chosen is not available. Please run the check availability function for this new booking time to get access to available booking times. This is extremely critical to reprompt the AI to automatically check whether that specific time slot is available. And yeah, that's it. That's how you're able to build a powerful, advanced AI phone agent that can handle checking calendar availability, booking appointments in, cancelling appointments, or also rescheduling. This is extremely critical because booking of appointments is a functionality that works for many businesses out there, especially B2B businesses. So if you have these templates, you know that you can quickly build such functionalities and have fast turnaround times for any AI phone agent that needs booking appointment functionality. So as I mentioned, click the link in the description to access all the templates and the AI agents that I built here. If you'd want to work with our team to build such powerful AI systems, go ahead and click the link in the description to visit our website and book in a meeting with our team. Otherwise, that's it from me. Till next time, stay savvy. Peace.